Wait a moment, just quickly doing an introduction. Good morning, thank you so much for joining Informanté. We are now live at Laan, where there was actually the river overflowing. Yesterday, a lot of you probably saw some video clips that were circulating on social media. And we're actually here to report on the scene. And we have also some officials from the city of Windhoek that are actually here to assess the situation and maybe just to talk to us about their response with regard to what happened yesterday. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, where we are standing, uh, my name is Raymond Kapia. I'm the head of Emergency and Disaster Risk Management, City of Windhoek. Yeah, what we actually came here is to do an assessment on the incident that happened yesterday.
Maybe you can
When
remove your mask just for
the what?
see the mask.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you would danger anybody. Yeah.
As you can see, we are standing in a riverbed. Uh, we had some good rains yesterday afternoon, and the weather obviously came down. And as you can see, there's houses here were in the path of the water. And where we are standing here, that's where if you can recall, there was a video taken from the bridge at the rear side here. The minibus was standing here, right in the river, in the water pathway. So our emergency response team were here. They basically, the only way that they could assist the residents here was to evacuate them. There is basically nothing that you can save in terms of their property. They were just encouraged to evacuate, as our purpose is basically to save lives, protect properties. So the lives were actually more important than the properties here. Uh, the assessment that we are doing currently is to see exactly the location of these houses. And what we have observed, they are all within the water channel. And these are all informal dwellings that is settled here illegally. And that's what we want to discourage the members of our communities not to settle in the riverbed that is obviously putting themselves in danger. So what we are doing now here, obviously our colleagues from Human Settlement, the Department of Housing, Property and Human Settlement are also here. Obviously they are doing also their own assessment in terms of trying to see if these people have to be relocated. We will obviously recommend that these people be relocated, and they have to see how they find, where they find a place for these residents that are in the danger zone, in the floodplain, where they need to be relocated. We have done assessments last year already in terms of our preparedness, flood preparedness, and most of these dwellings were identified already for these people to be, they are in the danger zone and they need to be relocated.
Now, looking at the situation, this is of course the beginning of the rainy season, and of course we can anticipate, or we can actually look forward to more of what happened yesterday. How fast could the relocation possibly be, just to make sure that we sort of like mitigate some of the things that we might foresee if the people are still here?
Yeah, I think it's difficult to tell now because the relocation does not depend from only one person. We have to engage with our colleagues, our stakeholders, but we will recommend that it be done as soon as possible.
Right now, I'm sure this is not it's not only the only place that it's sort of giving you guys trouble or tough time in terms of mitigating what happened here. There were so many suburbs or in the city that are actually facing the same situation. What is the city of Windhoek plans with regard to this? With just overall?
Well, it depends what basically is the root cause of flooding of a house. Some residents, they are being flooded because they just don't have cleared their gutters. Some have not. There is requirements for residents to adhere to. In your yard, you need to have stormwater systems, those holes. Uh, some residents blocked off their stormwater systems, and as a result, there is a build-up of water. Water needs to go somewhere. It will build up and then obviously flood your house. Some causes maybe blocked culverts that just need to be cleared, and most of that is as a result of rubbish that are being thrown into the riverbed, open spaces, and then as a result block the channel, and the build-up of water have to go somewhere, obviously, and then it will flood any resident. So I will advise the residents really to ensure that their channels, water channels within their yards are cleared, have adequate stormwater systems within the yard, so that the rain is a normal phenomenon that you just need to manage. And if each and every resident do his part, then I believe that you will less houses that will be flooded. For example, building informal dwelling in a riverbed, that is totally illegal. That should not be encouraged at all. As a result, it put the resident in danger.
Has there been any casualties with regards to the flooding that has taken place?
No, so far we have not, no casualties was reported. The officials here behind me were on standby over the weekend, and there was no casualties recorded so far.
In terms of preparedness, this might sound a little bit that we're biting the city of Windhoek, but if we look at the same situation happened last year again, when there was so much flood reports that were recorded, and especially even in the upper suburbs. Of course, where you mentioned that sometimes it could be due to the fact that people don't clean up their gutters or their drainage system. Has the city of Windhoek prepared itself should the same thing happen again this year, come at the mid rainy season, like in terms of finances and maybe how they can mitigate any factor of any regard with regard to the flood?
Yes, it's a difficult question. In terms of preparedness, prevention, mitigation, it is important that we do maintenance work regularly, especially clearing of riverbeds. Clearing of riverbeds, ensuring that all our culverts, especially from the city's part, has been taken care of. However, yes, sometimes it's an issue of financial constraints. It depends also on our stakeholders. Some of this work need adequate funding. If it's not, if you don't have the required funds, obviously some of this maybe preventative maintenance work perhaps might not take place. However, we are engaging with our stakeholders, especially our colleagues from roads and stormwater. It's their responsibility to ensure that especially the water channels that belongs to the city are cleared, and we engage with them, and they have people also on standby that are assisted in this regard.
We've got nearly 1 million people followers watching from all over the world. Before we let you go, is there anything special that you want to give out to these people, especially in terms of warning or anything for that sort, given the fact that we are only at the beginning of the rainy season?
Yes, yeah. We need to embrace the rain. Namibia in general is a dry country, and when rain is coming, we need to be happy thereof. However, I would like to really call upon the residents. The residents need to take responsibility on their own properties to ensure that all the roads and stormwater systems are working And perhaps sometimes you have a standard of, let's say, maybe 100 millimeter hole. You can even make it bigger, you know, maybe 150 millimeter, in order just to allow, because we are in the situation where we have climate change. Weather today is unpredictable. So you cannot always rely on 2 years, 10 years, uh, everything you have or seen what is happening all over the world. However, we need to be happy that the rain is coming, and it's just an issue of managing the situation, proper planning and managing, doing your maintenance, regular maintenance. And I think we will have a safe environment in our society.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much, guys, for coming through. I'm sure the city of Windhoek is happy to see you guys on the scene, and the fact that the city of Windhoek has heard and responded to the matter that happened here yesterday, where the flood really took over and invaded into the people's spaces, which I believe didn't really shock us because I mean, of course, this is not new to Windhoek. Compared to last year, there was quite still a lot more of this incident reported. And let me just show you guys around about what happened exactly and how the water and maybe where it passed. I'm going to take you guys a little bit on the riverbed just to show you guys exactly what happened and the houses that are affected and how many of them probably. If you guys saw the video yesterday, this is where the bus was actually parked. It came through there and the bus was actually parked right here. This is where you could see the bus from a distance because the video was taken up from the bridge on that side. Yeah, I'll show you guys around just to actually familiarize yourself with the scene of the flooding. This is where the water was running, as you could see in the video. All these areas are actually highly affected. So we're gonna walk around and see if we can speak to some residents just before we wrap it up, just for them to talk about their experience and how it was affected. Most probably because there were some guys that were saying they couldn't sleep last night because they had to spend a whole night standing. Their shacks were really flooded and the beds were underwater. This is where the water was running actually, as you can see. Some water is still left to, most of it has drained away or evaporated, I don't know. But yeah, guys, these are the shacks that were heavily affected. As you can see, the grass is like leaning more towards the other side because of the water flow. The direction of the water flow was so heavy, as you can see, like it actually eroded so many things. Even the sand is like heavily eroded. See, all of these places were actually really underwater. See that? This whole place was really underwater. And so you can see people are drying their blankets, which I believe all these blankets were underwater. Now people are trying to. It's actually quite insane. Hello, ma'am. How are you? Are you fine? Please come talk to us. We are live on Informanté. Just tell us about what happened in your experience and maybe what you think should be done just to mitigate what happened yesterday. You don't have to tell us your name. If you want, you can tell us your name. But we just want to hear more of your experience and how you guys were affected. You can. Yes, fine. Speak to me in Shwambo.
Atusomea kwetu esi ngashimwete ngao ikumba fange no mbete yange meni minya ini moya mea ikuli yango iwana ko mea yesterday mara no tapumbwe batelo anu vetu pengo na ndo papa tukara angela na litibumbulu kengo ilo atu ni yangu
Sina pamona tanu mosponga nande.
Aina pamona sponga manga ngona tumona manga umwa no sponga mako kuchekini maeto yanyano kana ikome bo iwana imoya
Onda mapenye no sta kondo.
Ngo tanda mapomoshinda veno ebashwi hadziome esho me atatondo kashimumbongo wakala mo watala ini matai ponele ku talini mano mwenye weto kupaposhim
Umboreri.
Umbolango lolongo
Thank you, man.
Eh,
So, of course, just a few people sharing with us their experience and with the ordeal of the water that was just really invaded into their spaces. And what she was saying, actually, she's just explaining that she's now just doing laundry because most of the things were underwater, which I believe some of the mattresses are also here getting dry, and the blankets, simply because the flood took ownership of their homes. And the water really just became the authority that was dictating them where to stay, just for that night. This is where the water was running, where it was flowing, heading over to the western side of Laan. I'm trying to show you guys more details. I'm just trying to show you guys more details about where the water possibly passed and what the damage it might have caused to the properties. As you heard, luckily, there were no casualties reported. So I think that is the good side about it, which is eventually the good news as well. Even though the bad news is that we don't know how much more rain is coming, given that we are only at the beginning of the rainy season. This is one of the shacks that was heavily affected. As you can see, this man's yard is also somehow damaged. See all these objects are carried, brought by the water. Now, the interesting part is how did this man that lives in here, I don't think he slept home last night, because this was probably the water he just got into his shack. And all of this place is right here. This is where the water was running from. The water was running from here. I believe this man's kitchen or woman's kitchen was also sort of invaded, and like I say, the water took authority in dictating where these people should stay. And of course, as you heard from the officials from the city of Windhoek, they were ready and they know about it and they are working on it. So we're hoping for a better response from them, so that the people can actually not only have places to stay but safety, so that the people that are staying here have safer places to stay, not only for as long as they got a roof or a place to stay. So you can see this young Namibian here. It's just probably wandering around, looking at the flood plain and maybe wondering, because when you're looking up to the sky, the clouds are still up there. We don't know if it's still gonna rain. Hey, how are you? Are you fine? You want to fetch water? Okay. Just look at this all, guys. Let me just show you guys more at the back where we came from. This is how the river looks like from the other side. Now we're heading over to the bridge where the water passes through and exit the property of these people. So I would promise you we'll speak to more people just to actually establish, more of what happened, the experience. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you, Moshavi?
I know, Mushavi.
Tell me, maybe just talk to us about your experience, what happened here yesterday, how it affected you. You can speak to the language that you are comfortable with.
Oh.
You can even speak in Shirero.
Ya atata erero twa muni no de uponamba. Shipero ndondunji mutu shimotara ponamba pa o nanji amblokere kusha butu matu hepombatiro kuseturu nanji shambonjo orivanji mutu iso kusiwo kotome na kusha omiango shi ura ponambo yeke kuhita monjo teta henda ponamba pehemba peura darada hitwa mewa ori oya jimatu hepombatiro shinene na matauri.
So, what do you foresee it might come, or if looking up, there's still clouds there. What do you think could happen?
ata ombora njishiya rukwane kusha shiri matumuno uri ushinene kusha matuhepa kusha vi tumuno mpatiro shimanga uri mina kusha shiri ovi naye tumunjo vyaninge na viheuri nishi kwa utu vikamba rukwa ushete matuluma uri matukara matuluma munango kushanga ino rubwe matwe kurokwa rukwa uri.
Okay, very nice.
Thank you very much.
All right. You had it, guys. We were just speaking to the people that are, of course, that are affected. We're just trying to bring you closer to their lives, and of course, for you guys to be in their shoes. You heard that the water was heavily flowing, and sort of like caused damage to some of the properties. This is some of the homes that were affected. As you can see here, if you guys can see clearly, just that you are probably unable to see that this. The sand here is still super wet. That shows you that the water was heavily running here and most probably stayed for quite some time as well, just shortly before it ran over to the bridge. So this is it. This is it, guys. We're showing you guys just exactly what happened. And for those that are watching from all over the world, thank you so much, guys, for tuning us. Thank you so much for choosing Informanté to be your only source of information. And thank you so much for sacrificing your data to just tune in and be informed. As we always advocate, we are here to make sure that everybody is well informed. We are the voices of the voiceless, and to make sure that the news is informed in a proper and accurate manner. Don't go out there and consume news from unverified social media platforms. You have to wait for Informanté to give you verification. When Informanté does not report on something, it means it's not accurate. Now you know, and you heard it from us. Let me show you the bridge. This is the bridge. This is where the water actually just ran through. This is it. So technically the water was running. The water was running from there. So we'll speak to one more of the residents of Laan. How are you, man?
Fine, how are you?
Very fine. What language are you comfortable with?
English, Tamara, everything.
Speak to us in Nama.
Of English or English.
Any language. You can speak to us in English.
What's your name? Or
My name is Lizette. My surname is Causes.
So tell me, how was your experience with yesterday's incident?
I was afraid because of my kids and this.
you were afraid because of your kids?
And this water was too much.
But where were you guys hiding when the water was flowing down?
We were standing that side there.
Oh, so you left the houses?
Yeah.
Around what time was the flood?
I was not having a phone. I
Was
don't
it
know.
in the afternoon? Late in the afternoon?
It was maybe around 4:03 there.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the water, we was inside, then the water come. When we come out, we saw the waters around. Yeah.
Then you ran away for your
Yeah,
life.
then we ran. My kid was inside. They were sleeping.
How many kids do you have?
Only 3.
3 kids.
Yeah.
So did you carry all your 3 kids out of the shed?
They were sleeping. Then me, I afraid and just ran.
And so the kids were in here?
Yeah, they were sleeping.
Ah, it's here!
Okay, so are you guys, in case if the same thing happened again today, I mean, you know, the clouds are still up in the sky. If the same thing happened again today, what are you guys gonna do?
We'll go.
Go where?
I don't know. Yeah.
Tell me. Matisa.
Madisa.
Matisa.
Madisa.
Tarot koro kamina. Tamat going. Out koro. Sadu kuma go yo. Sadu mama sasko. Kame ho koya. Sadu madira going. Madi kame doing. Eh? Madira sadu going. Kame do.
All right, thank you so much. This is the mother. She was saying that apparently the only thing that she was scared of was just the lives of her family. And of course, she ran just to go stand on top of the bridge there when the water was flowing down. This is basically what happened. And of course, as you can see, the place is really on the river plain. And it's, on a flat plain. And I think it's one of those, when you hear the sound of the water, you just really have to run for your life. You won't even think of anything else. You will not think of the property. The only thing you can think of, it's your life. And this is what everybody apparently here did yesterday. Everybody actually left their homes yesterday and came to stand on top of the bridge. That's it. I'm climbing up. We're climbing up and show you guys. We're going to show you guys from up there, just to have a better view before we cut to the live stream, and just to make sure that you guys are really well informed and you know how it looks like. Because I know there are people who don't know how this place looks like and where it's situated. This is situated in Chomise, Laan, right next to, not right next to, but it's actually close to the police station. Yeah, next to the police station. Because if you can see, that over there, that is the police station. That building over there, with a tower on top, that is the police station. And this is it. This is how it looks like from here, from up here. This is the river. This is how the river looks like. It was flowing all the way from there until here. And the water goes down and passes through this bridge. Thank you so much for choosing Informanté. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Until next time, we are signing out. And thank you so much, guys. You guys have always been loyal. You always choose Informanté over everything. I know you would have been doing something better or something more productive, but you chose to tune in and be informed. Until next time, we're out of here. Thank you.